state. Mr. President, this is far from the first time that I've taken to this floor to speak out against the Antiquities Act abuse. And it certainly won't be the last, but I'm encouraged by yesterday's executive order with President Trump and Secretary Zinke on our side. I believe that we can plot a path forward to correct past abuses and forge a new precedent for future monument designations. The President's executive action signifies a critical milestone in the effort to include local voices in the management of our public lands. As the Trump administration reviews various national monuments, we must replace the top-down approach of past administrations with a grassroots strategy that engages local leaders, state officials, and members of Congress in the decision-making process. Bringing all stakeholders to the table is essential to establish a new precedent that will undo the decades of abuse we have endured under, I think, false interpretations of the Antiquities Act. I'm eager to continue working with the President and the Secretary of the Interior to preserve our nation's cultural treasures in a way that honors the original meaning of the Antiquities Act. I am likewise eager to involve locals in that process. With all parties working together, I firmly believe we can restore a relationship of trust between the states and the federal government in the management of public lands. Now, I'm grateful, Mr. President, for a president who is willing to work with us to reset the status quo. Better than any of his predecessors, President Trump understands the lasting damage wrought by past presidents under the Antiquities Act. Indeed, in all my years of public service, I've never seen a president so committed to reining in the federal government and so eager to address the problems caused by these overreaching monument designations. I wish to thank President Trump and Secretary Zinke for taking concrete steps to rein in abuse through yesterday's executive order. I also wish to thank the President's Chief of Staff, Reince Priebus, who helped make yesterday's victory possible. Reince has done exceptionally well in one of the toughest jobs in all of Washington. The President is lucky to have Reince in the White House, and I am lucky to call him a friend. I also wish to thank my former Chief of Staff, Rob Porter, who is now a special assistant to the President and the staff secretary at the White House. Rob is an invaluable asset to the President's team and ours as well. And without him, yesterday's executive order would never have come to fruition, at least in my opinion. Rob was among the finest men ever to serve as my Chief of Staff, and I've enjoyed watching him succeed at the White House. Now, Mr. President, yesterday we took a meaningful first step to fix past abuses under the Antiquities Act. Yet there is still much work to be done, and I look forward to working with the White House every step of the way.